cannot stay in a place where the wicked are roaming free. So I say, I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape, the wicked men desire.
As I would say, we have to see a brighter day. They said the road of life got so much signs, but me say we shall reveal. Some say God soon come. Babylon use and conspiracy I try keep we bound, but there will be no peace if every truth should be known. Lies and contradiction, political friction. That man hate this man because of his opinion. Hey, and some gone in a different segregation, but I depend on a different page of all a meditation.
I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape for the wicked men desire. I feel to catch the next bus out of town. I can take to hear one more gun sound. Devastation's all I see. Oh. Shattered dreams and broken families. Breaks me down inside. I cannot bear to see the sight. I cannot stay in a place where the wicked are roaming free. So I say, I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape, the wicked men desire.
As I would say, we have to see a brighter day. They said the road of life got so much signs, but they say we shall reveal. Some say God soon come. Babylon use and conspiracy I try keep we bound, but there will be no peace if every truth.
Breaks me down inside. I cannot bear to see the sight. I cannot stay in a place where the wicked are roaming free. So I say, I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape, the wicked men desire.
As I would say, we have to see a brighter day. They said the road of life got so much signs, but they say we shall reveal. Some say God soon come. Babylon use and conspiracy I try keep we bound, but there will be no peace if every truth should be known. Lies and contradiction, political friction. That man hate this man because of his opinion. Hey, and some gone in a different segregation, but I depend on a different page of all a meditation.
I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape for the wicked men desire. I feel to catch the next bus out of town. I can take to hear one more gun sound. Devastation's all I see. Oh. Shattered dreams and broken families. Breaks me down inside. I cannot bear to see the sight. I cannot stay in a place where the wicked are roaming free. So I say, I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape, the wicked men desire.
As I would say, we have to see a brighter day. They said the road of life got so much signs, but they say we shall reveal. Some say God soon come. Babylon use and conspiracy I try keep we bound, but there will be no peace if every truth.
Right. Shalom. How is it now? Shalom, shalom, family. How's the sound test now? How's the sound test right now? Shalom, family. How's the sound test now?
Press me down inside. I cannot bear to see the sky.
Oh, great.
I cannot stay in a place where the wicked are roaming free. So I say, I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape. Wicked men desire.
As I would say, we have to see a brighter day. They said the road of life got so much signs, but free your mind. They say we shall reveal some say God soon come. Babylon use and conspiracy I try keep we own. But there will be no peace if every truth should be known. Lies and contradiction, political friction. That man hate this man because of his opinion. Hey, and some gone in a different segregation. But I depend on a different page of all a meditation.
I feel like starting up a fire. Alone no escape. The wicked men
right, how is the sound? How's the music now, family? How's the music and the sound? Music and voice, how is it now?
I can take.
How is it now, family?
Here one more concern. Devastation's all I see.
What? Man, just gonna switch.
Shattered dreams and broken family.
Right.
Press me down inside. I cannot bear to see the side. I cannot stay in a
Hopefully the music's gone down enough right now, family. If it's all sorted now, please, if it's all okay now, give me a 1, 2, 3. If the sound and music is all alright now. Oh, really? Everything's gone off again. What's going on now?
As I would say, we have to see a brighter day. They said the road of life got so much signs, but free your mind. They said we shall reveal some say God soon come. Babylon use and conspiracy I try keep we own. But there will be no peace if every truth.
Okay. Yeah. Music's off now, so let me know. Music is off.
Press me down inside. I cannot bear to see the sky. I cannot stay in a place where the wicked are roaming free. So I feel like starting up a fire.
Great. And how's the mic? How's my voice mic? Is it coming clear, loud and clear enough? My voice might come in loud and clear enough. Music can't.
He said we shall reveal some say God soon come. Babylon use and conspiracy I try keep we own. But there will be no peace if every truth should be known. Lies and contradiction, political friction. That man hate this man because of his opinion. Hey, and some gone in a different segregation. But I depend on a different page of all a
music can't be back on, can it? Is it all okay now,
like starting up a fire. Alone no escape.
Right.
The wicked men desire.
Right.
I feel to catch the next bus out of town. I can take to hear one more gun sound.
I think I got that now.
Devastation's all I see. Shattered dreams and broken family.
Okay, that must be alright. Right, shalom to all of you, family. Shalom. See people in the house already. Yeah. Just keep content over everything. Shalom to you. Shalom. We've got serious topic right there. Content. What's going on out there in the real world? What's going on out there in the real world? I was hoping to get Brother Kalam on this evening. Brother Kalam is out there. Let's get him on to hear his views, since he was really out there covering this thing. Our youth killing one another right there, family. It's already become too much. I don't think we can emphasize how nasty it is right now. Any word we use will just be the significance to real truth that we really want to talk to. Only those who are out there know what it is and how it feels. We can only come behind closed doors, right? So if Brother Kalam is out there, I did see that he's been covering things outside on the streets. I think it would be great to have his views and maybe share it with us. Or if there's any other person out there who's been out there and seen what's going on, it would be really nice to hear you on the live panel.
Contradiction, political friction. That man hate this man because of his opinion. Hey, and some gone in a different segregation, but I depend on a different page of all the meditation.
I feel like starting over fire.
Give me a second, family.
Alone, no escape.
Why should that be? I have no idea. The mic looks okay. The music's turned off, family. Are you still hearing the music? Can you still hear music? Can you still hear the music, family? Oh, what's going on? What's going on? Can you still hear the music? That's a bit strange. How can that be?
I cannot bear to see the sight. I cannot stay in a place where the wicked are roaming free. So I say, I feel like starting up a fire. Alone, no escape. Wicked men desire.
As I would say.
Okay. All right. I've tried to do something right now, so hopefully that should sort it out. Let me know how it is right now, family. It's always one thing or the next. Like I said, I'm still learning this thing myself, so I couldn't be. Yeah, okay. Music is off now. Thank you, Kamar Shazad. Thank you for that. How about my voice? Is my voice coming clear and loud enough? Okay, right. Okay. Thank you. Sound better. Thank you. Sound better. Thank you. Thank you, family. Thank you. Great. Yeah. Right. Yeah, shalom to all of you. Thank you, Brother Kazan. Thank you, Rax. So let me just read out quick names. I know we got you. I can read all your names out. Just big up the whole family. Mohammed Zachariah, shalom to you. Matt Report, shalom. GSH Everything, shalom. Zwa Atlas, shalom. El, shalom. Israelite Jew, shalom to you, shalom. You're right. Brian, shalom. Sam Israel, how are you, sis? Something is wrong with my phone. If that was you called me yesterday, shalom to you. Kamar Shazad, thank you very much. Shalom to you. Black Girl Magic, shalom to you from Amsterdam. Shalom, still hi to all the family out there. To all of you. Rogue Jester, shalom to all you family. Who else we got there? Right there. Black Girl Magic, shalom. Good Boy 973, shalom. Yeah, IUIC was in Liberia a week ago. Well, they're moving about, aren't they? Match report, content over everything. Yeah, shalom. If you're in the house, let us know. Want to get some views in what's going on the streets out there with the youth stabbings and killings and loss of life going on out there. Let us know. Somebody in the house, if you can get hold of Kalam, especially at Titans TV, we'd like to speak to Brother Kalam if he has any time. This thing going on out there live is really nasty. It's killing our spirits, really. Let us know. Eddie Stock, shalom to you. Who else we got there? Yeah, Lady Ray, shalom, Lady Ray. How are you? Hope you've recovered from your, what is it, cold or something? Yeah, shalom to you, brother Kazan Jensen. Let me know when you want to come on the panel, brother Kazan. Shalom to you. Let me see who we got here. Peter Bassi, thank you for that music too loud. Hope it's all right now. Shalom to you, oh family. Yeshua Emmanuel, shalom to you. How are you? Hope you're all right and your families too. Where are we now? Let me see who else is out there. Let me see. I miss nobody out now. Right. Tony Estrada, shalom to you. Shalom. Hope all your families are all right. Peter Bassi, hopefully we covered your name right. Good boy 973, absolutely, shalom to you. Let's see who else we got there. Yeah, as we coming into this session, shalom to all of you family. Right, let's see where we are. Montana Braithwaite, shalom to you, shalom to all families around you, shalom. Let's see, here we are. Yeah, Eddie Isak, shalom to you. Thanks for the sound check as well. Thank you, Eddie Isak. Shalom to all your families. And we have Rax. Shalom to you, Rax. Shalom to all your families around you. Shalom to all of you. Ahaya be praised. Shalom to you. Yeah, it's part of the curses of Deuteronomy 28. Shalom to you, brother. Shalom to you. Hope you're all right and all your families around you. Stefano Bonk. Shalom to you, family. Hope you're all right. Ain't heard from you for a while. You okay? Shalom to you. Shalom. Rogue Jester, shalom to you. Content over everything. Yeah. They say if it's nice, lick it 3 times, lick it thrice. Yeah. Most High, shalom to you. Israelite Jew, right? Shalom to you. Right? Yeah. Lady Ray, Stefano Bong, you be praised. Rax. Yeah, shalom to all family. Thanks for tuning in. I hope it's not too late for you. Yeah, just been trying to sort out this and that. You know what we've got right now in London is like very, very wicked situations right now. With the London youth stabbing themselves. And going around just wasting lives. There's always a view on it, and at the moment it's very, very hard to figure out what's going on. Safe to say that evil is growing bigger and bigger on the face of the land, and violence is becoming the order of the day, even though we would say everyone around us, we would say, looks like a normal person. Where you don't even need to explain to them that this kind of things ain't helping our societies at all. What's your thoughts on that? What's your views on that? What's really going on? What's your views? Is our governments, are they turning a deliberately blind eye to these developments? Maybe they have an interest in it, to see it rise and rise. And how is it that it's our youths doing it? How is it that, you know, I've been on the on the understanding of what's going on with the youth for a long time. I would put it since that I actually became what you would call cognizant of this trouble. Not like we haven't seen anything earlier, but you know, there's times when you don't take real serious notice of things, and there's times when you start to all factor it all in. I would say roughly about 2000. What are we now? 2000, is that 2005 or 95? Somewhere, which one of them? So I used to keep clips of all these things. How our youth started, like, you know, just being so eager to just to take one another's life. And what we would have noticed was our society at large, in terms of like our elders in our communities, our real elders who you could go to some real big places of work, of employment, institutions, you know, and you wouldn't see none of these people come out to fight this epidemic of waste of life in our youth, especially the black youth of this country, never mind the USA and Europe. And that lack of elder guidance in these big elders we're talking about. That is like the first generation of black people in this country who you could say, you know, may have their ears to the ground in the top institutions, in the police force, in the law and justice sector, and so on and so forth. They were just missing. They were just missing out there. They were missing. Is nobody to see to come out and galvanize, organize real movements that give our youth direction right from inside their homes. You see what I mean? I remember watching an interview. I don't even remember the year. I just know it's a long time ago. And there was an African woman on the interview on the BBC. And the interviewers were trying to push all the blame of knife crimes and youth, black on black crimes, and a lot of that onto the so-called black community, okay? And this woman was like, look, something's wrong with our system here. Something's wrong with the UK. There's a bigger game going on in the UK, like it is in Europe and America, especially in the black communities. And there's some history behind these things. All right. And she said, you know what? She's done a little bit of travel since she started being a social worker or a community worker, especially with the youth, education, training, and stuff like that. And she said when she went out to Africa, she found that the youth in Africa don't have this gang culture. They don't have this unnecessary, you know, seek me out, killing for fun, killing, you know, each other for a dime or something. Silly, senseless killings, murders by black youth on black youth, just for almost fun, as if it was some kind of, you know, and this is funny, this is like, you know, as if it was some kind of movie, you know, where art is replacing real life or mimicking real life, or real life mimicking art. So she said on her travels to at least Africa, she realized that it's not the black youth that have a problem. It's the society that has a problem. Society is always designed, controlled, and guided by those who own it. That's what it is. Anyone who doesn't understand how society works, that's just the breakdown, street level. Society is always reflective of its leaders. Society is always reflective of its leaders. You can't get away from that. So when we see the black youth of the UK being disproportionately going through murderous situations with each other, and we don't see that across the Atlantic, where these black people are supposed to have come from, we see a desire for life, a desire for preservation. Yes, things are tough. I'm not saying it's a bed of roses out there, or that they don't have their own challenges, because some of you are going to point that out to me and say, yeah, Brother Ty, don't you see all the civil wars and this and that and the poverty? Yes, they are. What we're talking about is totally different here. What we're talking about is like talking about Bollywood movies and Hollywood movies. You know, in the Bollywood movies, I don't know what they've come to right now, but there's a desire for life. You know, there's a desire for some kind of, you know, righteousness and justice and morality. In the Hollywood movies, there's just like caution is thrown to the wind. Madness is the order of the day. Blockbuster movies, programs that just tune people's minds to want to destroy life. You know, we're not watching the movie unless there's enough destruction in there. So our youths in this culture, in the Western culture, have inherited that disease. Over what? Over what, family? Right now, they don't seem to understand the value of the human life. I don't even think that they realize that they're human anymore. I don't think it's there anymore. That inkling, that I don't think it's there. What's your thoughts, family? What's your thoughts? Question to you. Question to you. Do our youths, and I'm starting with them, do our youths, do they even consider themselves as human anymore? Family, I want to know what's your answers. Do our youths, you know we're coming up the ladder, but we're going to start down there. Do our youths consider themselves human anymore? Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts. Do our youths consider themselves human anymore, family? Where am I here? Do our youths consider themselves human anymore? It's madness. Let me know what's your thoughts. It's evil right now going on. It's evil right now going on. The young have no idea what it means. Anyway, look at the title of the video we have, family. It's blood sacrifice. Blood sacrifice. That's what we have right now. Blood sacrifice. So we have our youth in a country like this, which is like gold to youth in every other country, so-called third world countries. All the youth want to do is to come to a country like the UK or Europe or America And the whole idea why they want to do that is for them to have life. But then when we come to Europe, we see that the youth don't actually value that life. We see that the youth don't actually value that life. It looks like, you know, they don't need it anymore. They don't want it. Right, video games. It's like video games. Violence. It's like video games. Where's all the elders? Where's all the elders, family? Where's all the elders? We're not talking elders like even myself. We're talking of those elders who gave birth to people like me, you know, in this country, even in America. You know, if I was someone like Jesse Jackson or someone like that, I would come down from the US to come down just to visit in the UK and say, look, family, what's going on here? That's the kind of elders we need. At this moment, we probably need elders from Africa coming in the UK and saying, hold on. Please rally round. Rally round right now. What's going on? Where are all the leaders of the churches? Where are all the Christian churches? All the Christian church leaders? Christian church leaders. Christian church leaders, where are they? Where are they? Christian church leaders. Since I can almost put, you know, and we don't do that, I can almost say 2/3 of the black youth, 2/3 of the black youth dying this way or becoming victims this way are of church background, i.e. their families are Christian, Bible-loving, Sunday, church worshiping folk. That's almost a given. Where are these elders? Where are they on the streets? Where are they right now on the streets, family? How come, you know, I haven't watched the news really. I just get a glimpse here, a glimpse there. But it's a pattern. You just never see them. It's a pattern that happens. Human sacrifice. Human sacrifice, family. Human sacrifice. Can that be, you know, can that be taken away from the equation right there? Can that be taken away from the equation right there? I mean, look how much money these black people have been putting into churches. Look how much money that goes into the churches. You would think that there would be some way to stop, you know, to stem these murders. To stem these murders from being an everyday occurrence. There's one for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right through Sunday. There's a murder for each day. There's a murder for each day, family. You know, I was looking at Titans TV's report. Him going out there to cover some of the news. And I haven't really followed this thing seriously. And what we do find is there looks like a real quietness on the side of the police to really get involved properly. It looks like a quietness when it's black families. Are we blaming anyone else for what's happening? We don't even have a right for that. We definitely don't have a right for that. We have sentiments. We can have sentiments. We could have sentiments. We could have sentiments to say, look, we want to blame the government, or is it because it's a white government and we are a minority? That's why they leave us to stab each other. Well, they can't come home with us, can they? What's happening to our homes? What's happening to black people's homes? Why do we not have order in our own homes? What is it that pushes our youth out onto the streets to come and become victims at the hands of each other? I want to get somebody else's view. I really definitely want to get somebody else's view. I definitely want to get that. I'm gonna jump into YouTube world. I know I've seen 1 or 2 videos on Brother Callum Titans TV. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go there right now and just, you know, play a little bit of some of the videos he's made, if that's okay. I have no idea if there's any, and it's got to be the thing right there. Got to be trying not to get into some other type of trouble right there, but just give me a second. Right. Yeah. But anyway, there definitely is a plan to destroy our youths. Like I'm reading off the title on that you can see on one of his videos right there, Titans TV. One of his videos right there. The plan to destroy our youths. And this is one of the things that we've been on. There's a plan to destroy our youths, and we're gonna do it for them. We're the ones doing their work for them. These elite rulers of the earth who've made black people and black people's children and offspring into disposable human cargo, human sacrificial vessels, young blood, young people's blood, they say, in the occult realm, is the best type. They like fresh blood. Fresh blood is fresh sacrifice. What's going on, family? I need someone. Brother Kazan, are you there? Are you on? If you got time, let me know. If it's your kind of thing. It's disturbing. How can people be outside of this country trying to get in to have a better life, and we who are here can't seem to get ourselves together so that these kind of things become a thing of the past? Excuse me. What's going on? What's going on? It's evil. This is evil, family. This is evil. It's evil. And our leaders out there, our elders out there, need to come in and lend a hand to this madness. You need to lend a hand to this madness. Excuse me. It's evil going on, family. When will the black lives either on the part of our parents, the parents of these children, when will they wake up? Are there any parents actually? Are there any parents for these children? Are there any parents for these children? Where are their parents? It's always missing. I'm like, you know, what's going on here? Every day there's something new. And there's just never, the parents are never on the streets. Or are the parents themselves scared? Are the parents themselves scared? That they themselves can't even come out anymore to talk to their own offspring. It's like a siege out there, family. I'm going to try and get one video in. Just give me a second. Excuse me, family. I'm still, oh boy. I'm still recovering from a cold right now. And all these videos seem to have, oh yeah, there you go again. This is crazy. So well, let's get this done. Where's all the family parents? I'm not seeing any mothers, any fathers out there in London coming out in one day and saying, you know, oh, they're all busy working. All these families are busy working. Moms and dads and uncles and aunts. That's what we've always been busy doing. Donating our blood, our spiritual life to the beast of a system. And we give birth to these children almost knowing that this is what's going to happen to some of them. Yeah? Almost knowing that, you know, some of them are just going to become fodder for the system. Fodder for the system. This is crazy. This is crazy. Give me a second. We have a situation right now where the elders have gone missing in action, like some of you name it. Missing in action. It's all great, isn't it? They got missing in action. So, missing in action families are now putting our youth in terror. I mean, watch some of this going on. All right, family, let's have a look together. Brother Kalam, shout out to your report here. Hopefully this is all right. Spooning off this video. This is on Brother Kalam's Titans TV video, just in case you're wondering, family.
Only you
Well, okay. Let's have a little look first.
Right now, on the estates. All right.
Let's have a look
Everybody
first.
Come out. You know, we've literally got neighbors. You know, who are part of, you know, the estate right now coming out. You got children right now coming out, having a look. Everybody that's inside of this particular community in Hackney has turned out to represent, you know, they've come out to represent right now. Everybody's curious as to seeing what's going on, and yeah, we're all here. You know, we're all here. Everybody is becoming aware of the situation inside of the community. You know, fair enough, we're waking up. We're waking up the whole neighborhood right now. You know, children, they're waking up. Okay, they need to be made aware. Sometimes you have to, you know, cause, you know, a nuisance. Sometimes you have to cause a noise. Sometimes you have to do things that are quite abrupt, okay, to wake people up, okay? Because right now, our community is sleeping. Our community is completely unconscious of what's going on. Our community don't understand that there is an epidemic that's spreading across London. They don't understand that next, it could be their child. Next, it could be the police knocking at their door to tell them a very heart-wrenching, terrible news of their child has either been mowed down or their child has been stabbed to death. So it's necessary for us to be out here on the streets in this moment, in this time, to make sure that our community is aware of what is going on right now. The community needs to be made known that this is very troubling times. The community now needs to come together and find solutions so this doesn't continue to happen. Again, we're literally in the 4th month of the year, and 50 plus murders has transpired in London already. 50 plus murders has transpired already. And if it continues like this, at the same rate as it's going, it could potentially reach over the 200 plus mark by the end of the year. Currently, we've overtaken New York in terms of murders. February, March, London has taken over New York in the numbers of murders. So right now, we're out here showing the support, showing the solidarity, making our community fully aware of what's going on. So right now I'm actually going to turn the cameras around. I'm going to turn the cameras around so you can see that inside of the estate, inside of the flats right now, there is children, there is people from all different types of community, Bangladesh, Pakistan, Somalia, Eritrea, British white, British black, African, Caribbean people are all out. Turkish people are all out together right now, being made aware of what's going on. Let the whole community know that we're suffering. Let the whole community know that we're grieving right now. So I'm just gonna pan around.
Your father was almost here. To my son, I was almost here. You see what I'm here standing here today? You see what I'm standing here today? Gang.
I mean, the chaos out there. It sounds to me like a war zone under construction, family.
So yeah, please, yeah, that's right. Hit the like button if you can, and if you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe button. We are definitely going to be, you know, keeping you guys updated. Hopefully, in the next few days, maybe even the next few hours, we may even do a special show and speak about the issues that's currently going on in our community. Hopefully we can find some solutions. Hopefully you guys can come out and represent and support as well. Thank you, family.
South London, you're next. Coming down
Jeez.
South will come.
We need to be in South. We need to be in South for real. So yeah, family, right now, you know, we've been traveling into North London. We've been traveling into East London. Next step, South London, baby. South London. So let's see if we can start uniting the gangs that's outside. Start uniting them. Start letting them understand that the enemy is not them. The enemy does not look like you. The enemy is not even a person. The enemy is an idea. The enemy is a concept. The enemy is a plan perpetrated against us. That's the enemy right now. And we need to work against the enemy. We need to fight the enemy. Right now, the enemy is miseducation. The enemy is ignorance. The enemy is poverty. The enemy is the dehumanization of one another. The enemy is the lack of respect. We need to fight against that enemy. We need to fight against that enemy. And we need to bring about justice where there is no justice. We need to bring about truth where there's been so much lies and deceit that's been going on. We need to tell the youth the truth. We need to tell the youth that where they come from and the type of potential that they have, and take away this enslaved and colonized mindset. Take away this negative, denigrating, deprived, poverty-stricken, victim mentality, soul-murdering culture that we're currently a part of. We need to give them hope. We need to give them a future that's bright, a future that gives them hope, a future that is ready to uplift and motivate and mobilize them. So yeah, family, yes, my brother, good. Yes. So there's new people that's currently joining right now. Again, the numbers are increasing. 200 plus people are currently part of the circle. And of course, you know, we've got a whole neighborhood right now, okay? Just looking around me right now, a whole neighborhood is coming out to hear what's being said, listen to the message, and hopefully that will help impact their lives and get them into a better place. Family, I'm signing out right now, but peace and love. Stay safe, stay blessed, and make sure you look after the next generation.
Right, family. Befitting words from Brother Kalam there on that street video which he shot, street report which he shot, bringing in that news from on the ground, from what looks to me like, you know, a construction of a war zone, a template for what the elite of this country really want to see. For me, it's you know, like we said, it's a blood sacrifice, it's a human sacrifice, and it's a preparation of our youth. Family, listen to this, family, get this in your minds. This raising of our youths like this is a preparation for the race wars that's coming on this country. It's a preparation. Don't forget Tottenham a few years ago, right? North London riots a few years ago, and many more that they've been. And you know, all the things, all the social ills that's happening on the streets of the UK, England, that's pitting the races against one another. Never mind the religions. It's just a practice run. It's a practice run for race wars. And we as a black community, I know there's nowhere we're gonna sit down any day, any minute, anywhere we sit down, we're gonna hear somebody say, "Oh no, black community, they know what they're doing." So which ones of us don't know what they're doing? Which ones of us actually didn't get the memo that it's time to stop killing one another? Which ones of us did not get that memo? This is why I like, this is why for me talking to the youth sometimes is frustrating, because you talk to them, they say they know what they're doing, but then they just go out and just take each other out. I mean, this is crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy, family. All that energy we could put towards doing other constructive things. Become an adventurer, for example. If you're ready to take your life out like that, I don't know, family. This may sound like Brother Ty is being what's the word now? I don't know, condescending and and all that, but this is not it. Am I being patronizing to the situation? No. It's just, how else do we look at this human tragedy? Every single week, there's something new. We're all just going to congregate, shout a few nice words, and wait for it to happen again the next week. There's just no focus, no direction. And I still see some of us still, giving up the gang slogan in the comments. At this tragic point, the last thing, we want to be hearing is, I mean, this is funny, because I know somebody's going to come back at me and say, yeah, Brother Ty, you just want this, you want. Look, when like Brother Kalam was saying there, we're waking up. I say we're not waking up at all. I say we're not waking up at all. I don't think we're ever going to wake up. That's some of the reasons why for me it was hard when I see my brethren, family, some of them grown elders. There's no way I'm going to say this that's going to cut with everybody equally nice, but it's got to be said. What's your view? What's your view? At the moment, we all know, like right now in London, where we are watching into London right now. We're seeing our youth take out each other under the name of gangs. You understand what I'm saying? And then we see some of our youth, including some of our middle-aged to elders, having a name that they've constructed, which is supposed to be helping these types of victims in our communities. But the name that they've named themselves, what's your view? What's your view? The name that they've named themselves, would you say it's the right name in this kind of climate, family? Let me put it out there like that. What's your views, family? The name that they've named themselves, the epithet that they've got there, the acronym that they're using. I know you all know what I'm saying right now. I want to see if you yourselves are thinking along the same lines that I'm thinking. Now, this name, is this a righteous name to have in our psyche at this time? Is this the right name to have in our psyche at this time? Come on, family. Is this the right name to have in our psyche at this time? Give me a second. Is that brother Kazan?
Yes, sir, it is.
Shalom to you, brother Kazan.
And greetings to you, Brother Ty and the family.
Right. Shalom to you. How are you?
I'm doing all right today. You and yours?
Beautiful, thank you. Full of life, full of life. We're running a cold at the moment, but yeah, full of life.
Oh man, we'll get you on around that cold.
Yeah. Hey, look, brother, we're jumping straight into this thing. I know you've been with us for the last few minutes since we started. Am I correct? Did you catch everything?
Yes, I have. I've been with you ever since I walked out the job.
Right. I want to get people's views because of the severity of what's going on the earth right now, in our own paradigm, in the UK and the US and Europe and so on and so forth. I'm saying, if we're trying to change things, especially in London, UK right now, family, and most of you on the chat right now, you've heard my question. I haven't just given it a serious name, but you've heard my question. But this is the question again, and I'm gonna ask it to brother Kazan and all of you out there. I don't, this gonna sound funny to some people, because they might say, "Oh, Brother Ty is still having some issues or what?" No, I'm not having no issues. We're looking at tragic human disasters on the ground right now in the UK with our youth. Otherwise, there's no point. It's no point us even crying when we see one more. We're saying at the moment, the word gang. Is this a right name to have now? Is this a right name to have right now? Is this a right name to have for our youth? I know they say it's called guiding a new generation, but however we play it, it's still playing into our psyche. It's still playing into our psyche, family. Is this a right name to have right now, family? I'm gonna let Brother Kazan come in.
Okay, thank you, Brother Ty. Again, you know me, I try to historical standpoint. Let's back up a little bit. Again, my age is 45. My mother died at 37. So what I'm saying is, our parents' generation isn't really responsible for what's playing out on this side of the Atlantic as well as on the other side of the Atlantic. Somebody, or let's just say it this way, somebody's institution incorporated something and made it cool. For an example, as the years of Facebook taking off and it going from writing into videos into live videos in the here and now, if you notice, well, I don't know if you notice, but if some of the listening audience will maybe see if they can kind of agree with me. For a minute there, they had videos. I'm talking about out of 30-something people's posts, out of 30, 20 of them were advertising our children, our babies, acting in the worst type of way towards each other. And a lot of the older people actually thought it was cool and funny. Well, I have a 16-year-old daughter, and she got on to me, "Oh, Dad, why, let us be young." And I had to explain to her. I said, "Baby, listen, when y'all are making those fight videos out there carrying on, not when you look at that video and it says something like 3.5 thousand views or 100,000 views, that's just not our people tuning in looking at those videos. That's the school superintendent, that's the prosecutor's office. It only takes a second to just watch the video, pick up the telephone, call your sister over the Board of Education, and her best friend may be the prosecutor who's married to a judge. All right. And you get all these people tuned in to watching not their babies, but our babies fighting, clawing, stabbing, cutting. The little babies are out there. They're crying. You have men coming in, sneak hitting on girls and carrying on. Therefore, when something small happens, and again, I'm having this conversation with my daughter. I said, even though you and a sister may be having a disagreement, about the time you get to the principal's office, you've already been found guilty, because you have thousands and thousands of videos for them to point at and be able to say, see how these people act. They are savages. They are beasts. They have a good case to make, because they're looking at the videos just the same as we're looking at these videos. And where we're playing, where exactly we plan on going. Now, I will say to this, which is some better news. I put out a SOS. I don't know. I think it was in 2014, right as Trayvon Martin here in the United States was killed by George Zimmerman here in the state of Florida. After he walked to the store and bought a tea and a pack of Skittles, and I put up a SOS on my Facebook, and I begged my people, our people, listen, I mean, we may disagree on a lot of things, but we can at least come together and try to knock some of this down, because we're losing the fight before we even get in the fight. And remember, more than just us be videos. There's all types of people that got the power of the ink pen that be watching it, and the next thing you know, your innocent baby who maybe just got into a little bit of an argument. I mean, look, let's face it, we're going to get upset with each other sometime. When you're young, you're going to get into a little rumble, a little skirmish, and whatnot. But to actually, in today's climate, be able to say, well. And I'm mainly sticking here with the states. If a brother's going to say, I'm a blood, and this brother here is going to say that he's a Crip, I mean, look at it this way. They did a big CNN story, I don't know, maybe 6 or 7 years ago. You had a father. He had 2 sons by 2 different women. One was a blood. The other one was a Crip. And the only thing that was separating their neighborhoods, if I recall correctly, was a set of railroad tracks.
Right.
Now, if those brothers hooked up into a larger crowd and started bickering and cutting and firing shots at each other, you can easily have a Cain and Abel story where one brother done slew the other brother while being involved inside of some gang activity.
Right.
I'll get ready to slow it down here. When I was around 16, 17, I've never been in a gang. I was kind of, I got lucky. I became a Mason. I joined the Masonic Lodge maybe at the age of, I think I started prepping at 17 and crossed over in 18. So that kind of put me in an older like crowd, even at that young age, because my mom had already passed. I said all that to say this. We're in a little bitty town, and I can remember the guys kept, because I had a car, and they kept saying, well, I want you to be in this gang, and I want you to be in my gang. And I told the brothers, I said, up in the town square of a little town called Troy, Alabama, it's about 45 miles south of Montgomery, where Martin Luther King first started off at. Okay. In the town square, there's a picture of a brother being hung in the late 1800s. And I told the brother, I cannot ride from one side of town to the other with the full intention of going over to do bodily harm to somebody who hasn't done anything to me, haven't said anything to me, but because I'm part of a gang and to be able to prove that I'm down, I have to follow the orders of whoever the gang leader is. I cannot go from one side of town over to the other to do some harm to a brother. Meanwhile, I gotta pass that hanging, the picture of that brother being out there hung there in Troy. I gotta ride right by that picture. For me, that just didn't. It just they could never make enough sense up. And I mean, just put it, make enough sense out of it. Right. How you want to come and bring bodily harm to another brother. And I'll end with this. Let's look at the dynamics. First, our parents were listening to love music, companionship music, revolutionary music, the war. I can't think of some of the artists, but y'all know who they are. Marvin Gaye, the OJs, right. Public Enemy, KRS-One. That little generation right there was the end of the love and the empowerment. Then I thought we had a break. We came into break dancing. That's how we used to battle each other. Instead of us fighting at that moment, we would, dress up and we would go out and actually dance up against other groups. Well, I'm not going to be the one to point the finger. I'll let someone in the audience help me out with this. Who was it? Who was it that changed the music industry, changed the movie industry? Right. And I'll use one more example. The guys that walk with their pants hanging down. Brother Ty, I promise you, on Monday, the brothers were dressing regular. A movie came out. After that movie came out, on Tuesday and Wednesday, the brothers started pulling their pants down. Right. Now, listen, that is some high influence moving at a rapid speed that not everybody, but a particular group of people signed up to based off of these movies. Right. And the music that was coming out that actually set the atmosphere to be playing out what we're seeing right now all around the nation and all around the world. And it is a problem. It does need to be addressed. And I'll end with this. Let's address it. Those of us that know better, those of us that want to do better, let's address it and see can we put it in its proper place, which is no place. And I'll stop right there, Brother Ty.
Well, thank you, Brother Kazan. I can see the correlation you're making, and it's well needed, and the family can see that as well. I want you to comment on. Wow, it's just so much to talk about right now. So much to talk about.
Angles to come from.
What's the I mean, everyone in the UK watches the news. Like when we get killed and slaughtered by white racist police in the US, everybody goes crazy. Okay, in the US, everybody goes crazy. In the UK. Now, they're not going as crazy when we start to see that we're doing it to each other. Is there a difference? Should we even get upset when white police kill us? Should we get upset? It's a question. I don't want anyone to think Brother Ty is being insensitive right here. I'm just saying, family, if we can't get our house in order, why are we getting upset when people gun us down overseas? Why are we getting upset when white, racist, I'm not talking about every white person, I'm saying racist policemen. Why do we get upset? As far as I know, I haven't really heard, as far as I know, and we forbid this kind of thing, but as far as I know, I haven't really heard black gang youths taking the life of a racist policeman who maybe murdered one of our own. I haven't heard such a news. The only news we hear is black youth taking the life of another black youth. But then we cry that racists are taking our lives. Is there any point crying, Brother Kazan? Is there any point crying? Talk to me, please.
We're gonna have to cry loud. and I do understand your question. And it is it makes my job. Let me say this. It makes, for what I'm trying to contribute, it makes my job a lot harder to bear witness to an unarmed brother being harmed by that racist police. All right. And then turn around and flip the news channel, and then they're covering a either black on black, or in this country, they love to say maybe it was drug related. How exactly because look at it this way. A lot of the young brothers that are participating in it, they're not listening to us. They're not tuning in to the hit. They're not tuning in to Brother Kalam. They're not maybe trying to get into a scholastic argument or discussion. They're doing what the music and what people around them is telling or is saying. This is what our life is. And what happens is a lot of those brothers don't get a chance to cross over into other information until after they're in prison. Then once they're in prison, that's when they write home, I became a Muslim. I'm gonna be a better Christian. I'm in this organization, I'm in that organization, but that's after they already have a prison number. How it's like we're having, and then the rap community, because there's a difference between rap and hip hop. I can deal with hip hop. That would be the old KRS-One and a lot of those groups, versus the rap, the one that says, yeah, I get up out my bed, I go kill her, the rest of the word. I'll shoot this, I'll stab this, and then your daughter, she's this. She's a dog. She's this. She's that. And people, the girls and the guys they'll applaud it, and they bob their head to it. And some of them have the audacity to actually repeat the lyrics. Now, to answer your question, Brother Todd, we're being whooped. We have some, and again, I don't want nobody to be like, well, y'all always trying to put everything on the white man, on the European. Okay, that's fine. I don't have to do that. But I will say this, somebody with an awful lot of money and time on their hand can definitely, or has definitely, set the climate, again, from us going from my mother's generation to love, companionship, revolutionary, into straight gang banging. Somebody did that. And I'll tell you how they did it. While I let y'all sort out who did it, I'll just tell you where they did it at. They did it within the movies, New Jack City, Boys in the Hood, To Society, New Jersey Drive, Colors. That's about the main ones that I could think of off the top of my head that came out in the late 80s and the late 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sorry, the late 80s and the early 90s.
Right.
Then the movies came out, and our people looked at that, and they did. They looked at it as it's cool.
Right.
So therefore, when somebody does do something to us, it does, well, for them, it don't bother them, but for a person like myself or like you, or the very smart listening audience that we have here on the chat, right. The smart, well, it does bother us. And it does kind of leave us at a point of, what to do. Because if you're not careful, they will bring that same gang mentality into the RBG, the Israelites, right. The Islam.
Right. IDL and all that.
FO, you see what I'm saying? They will bring that into it, and then the next thing you know, you got people ready to talk on a scholastic level, and then shortly after that, if we're not all in agreement, well, shoot, let's pull out the guns and the knives, and we'll just bang it out with each other, which is just as crazy. So, I don't really have the answer how to stop it. All I could do is, and I hope everybody else does. When I am out there in the streets and I see it first popping off, I get involved. I will say something, and normally 7 out of 10 situations, I'm going to have the 7, meaning they're not going to fight. I'm going to be blessed enough at the moment to be able to come out of my mouth with something that will actually get them to kind of see it from another side. And I'll stop here and I'll say this. I will admit at that moment, I will tell them, brother, if you're going to sit there and fight the white man's war for him, if you're going to come into your community and take out your own for him, what does that make you? And that's normally what I normally use in order to kind of click something to get them to look at it from another angle. I'll stop right there, Brother Ty.
Wow. Okay. Great. Thanks a lot again, Brother Kazan, for some light there. Like you said, are they tuned in? Are these young men, even young women, are they tuned in? You know, it saddens me to see all the hard work that our black mothers and fathers, some of them even absent, but some of them still put in some work to raise some of us, only to have us end up like that. It saddens me. You know, 15 years, 16 years of hard labor to feed you, care for you, protect you, provide for you, only to see you getting taken out by one of your own for something so unnecessary. When look, gang, look, listen, we're gonna be talking about the word gang, okay? Because we need to go into it. Gang that we've, you know, some of our youth have now named themselves in London, UK. I know it's become a focus for a nationwide group of black youths and even white youths right now in this country right now. And it might even be going global. But is that name, I know it's an acronym that sounds and captivates and almost delivers a righteous intention, i.e. guiding a new generation. But at the same time, isn't it playing into the stereotype? Isn't it playing into the mental stereotype? Isn't it playing into a prophetic stereotype? Isn't it playing into a loss of life stereotype? Isn't it playing into a undignified stereotype? The spiritual, mental, psychological stereotype. Because how are we going to use an old, negative, damaging name, even though it just be an acronym? How are we going to use that to help to raise what we want to say will be a new future in our youth? How are we going to use an old name, an old defunct name, to raise a new future of youth that has life? How are we going to do that? Because there's no way you want to cut it. There's just no way you want to cut it. I can put in some examples right there. We can't use the same kind of thing that's been our problem to set ourselves free. Darkness and light are two different things. We as a people are not a gang. We are a nation. We are a nation, family. Young men and women out there, if you want our nation back, if you want our nation back, that's the word we got to start using for ourselves. Nation. So give that a 789. If you want our nation back, put a 789 next to nation. Put a 789 next to nation, family. If you want our nation back, put a 789. If you want the gang, call it whatever you want. If you want a gang, that's what we're going to get. I honestly don't see at this time, at this right time, I don't see how what we have on the ground right now, like Brother Kazan said, nobody is listening to this kind of education right now who is in a gang. Nobody is listening to this. This probably don't get to them. And there are reasons for that. How are we going to raise a new future of children? Don't forget, these children who are busy killing themselves now, this is the tip of the iceberg. This is the ones who managed, you know, forgive me, I'm not trying to be insensitive to the families who've lost. I'm a family man myself. I've been involved. I did social work, amongst other things I read in so-called school. So it's painful to see this. But what future do we have when numbers of us every single year is turning up dead at each other's hands without having been to any war? We haven't actually been to war. We're not fighting the enemy. We're not being attacked from outside. We're doing it within our own culture, our own nation. How are we going to have a future in 20 years when everybody under 20 right now is vibing to gang? Everybody under 20 right now. I'm not, we say everybody, but what we're saying is, unless we come away from that mentality, because it was so bad that in the 80s and the 90s and the 70s even, when they started putting labels of gang on Afro-Caribbean youth in the UK, everybody repulsed and everybody fought it down, saying that's stereotypical. Have we now come such a way that we now going to put that name back on ourselves of our own will and hope that something changes in the future? Since that half of our youth right now, you know that half of our youth, they don't want to give them a chance in education. Half of our youth, they don't want to give them a chance in places of work. How are we now going to take the next 20 years ahead, vibing on a name that tells us to be the thing that damages us the most? How are we going to do that? Because I'm going to be asking questions, and I'm glad that Brother Kazan is here, because I don't want this to look like Brother Ty is at the pulpit preaching. So I'm saying, and listen to this, Brother Kazan. Can you hear me right now?
Absolutely, brother.
Wouldn't it be nice to bring back Sharia law? Well, not bring back, but wouldn't it be nice to bring Sharia law into the UK? Listen to that question.
Brother Ty, I'm familiar with the name Sharia law, but okay. I must be honest with you. Line for line, I have not a clue of what it consists of.
Okay. I'm gonna ask it again to the whole family, so they say, yeah, did we just hear Brother Ty say Sharia law? Look, family, if our youth are dying in their hundreds every year or every couple of decades or whatever, it's just too much already. We're not at war, family. We are not at war. Why are we dying like that? But let's just say we can't help it. If Islam comes along and Islam says, well, we got a solution for you, maybe Sharia law is better. Because don't forget, that's what they're going to give you if you misbehave. They're going to take your life. They're going to take your life. Because if our youth know that they're going to be getting some real punishment, maybe that will curtail them. If the parents know that they're going to be getting some punishment, maybe that's going to curtail them. Because at the moment, I can almost guarantee you that 2/3 of these children getting slaughtered by each other are from Christian backgrounds. Talk to me, Brother Kazan, on that one, even regarding how you see it in the States. Am I way off by saying 2/3 of the people doing the killing on each other and the people being killed in our black communities from the UK to the US to Europe Save maybe somewhere like France. Save maybe somewhere like France. Save maybe somewhere like France. Am I too wrong to say that half of them to 2/3 of them are from Christian backgrounds?
I would totally 100% agree with you. Same thing I tell the brothers and them, you know, my younger cousins and them up in Alabama. I cannot understand. I can maybe wrap my head around a little bit being from New Jersey and being up in the New York Chinatown, little Haiti, little Havana, you know, you have your little spot. So I can maybe understand a little bit of that. However, once we come into the South, I always ask the brothers, how in the world can this little town be big enough to hold a gang when 2.5 generations ago, all your grandmothers and grandfathers went to the same church? How can that be? So really, I know you're asking me the question, and I hope to answer the question whenever they give me some feedback on why, you know, how this be popping off sometime. Again, they're just being overwhelmed with all the information for them to be able to hold inside of that bubble. Right. It's not cool to talk something out anymore. It's not cool to be for two brothers to be like, no, man, we didn't fight or shoot it out. We sat down and talked it out. There are brothers out there that will look at them and call them, even though with me considering myself an older brother, elder, maybe you the same, that's exactly what we would want. But the younger crowd, I mean, that's not cool. You don't talk it out. You fight it out. And if you don't fight it out, you shoot it out. And I'm telling you, it be wearing me out. It wears me out to be fighting on one side of the street up against some of the atrocities that be happening to our people. And then right when I think, okay, we might can get somewhere, boom. Last weekend, one of my classmates, last year, she lost her daughter in a car accident during prom night. Last weekend, she has 2 boys and a girl. The other boy, he gets shot in the head. All those people out there, and then nobody knows nothing. Which brings us to this. Here's another problem. Okay, and let me see, can I word this right?
Right.
If you see something happen to one of our brothers or sisters and you go say something, well, you better buy a gun. You better buy a gun. If you don't already have one, you better go buy one, because the streets are going to label you as a snitch, a tattletale. Right. You're getting you put your nose in my business. Right. Even though they just took a life. They'll turn around. There are other people that will join in and say, yeah, he's snitching, he's selling out. You can think of some more of the other little slogans that they use to kind of try to, make a weakness out of a man trying to stand for something right. So while I'm on the record, no seen, no one killed, and no, I haven't snitched on anybody. I'm skilled enough to where I can kind of get on to you myself, if not kind of stop it. But that's just one fight out of thousands and thousands going on everywhere. Yep. I'll stop there, brother.
Right. Great. Absolutely. Any correction that any loving person, this is probably an experience that many of you, if you're elders out there, that you've probably had. I myself, I know I have some young ones in the UK who've gone down the path of what we would call gang, and who ended their lives too prematurely. And you can almost see that once they start. You can almost see that this is the path that leads down to death. You can almost see that. You can see it. Trying to stop it makes you an enemy to that person. Now, what do we do? You want to reach them, they want to hate on you. You leave them, they want to blame you later. What do you do? should we be past caring? What's your views, family? Should we be past caring? Because you try to reach them, they hate on you. Look, family, like Brother Kalam was saying in his video, which you all already know, there's so many social constructs, social deficient constructs that make at least 2/3 of our youth to fall into these categories of gangs. You know, one could be an absent father figure. That's the number one key. Number one key is the father figure. That's been computed already in the system. And the system uses that principle as a weapon against black people. Because we are the least settled people, I believe, in the UK. About 1/3 of us came over via immigration in the 60s and the 50s. About 2/3 of us came over as the offshoots of a colonized, enslaved people. So we're working all the time from a position of disadvantage, of, even if you like, an inferiority complex, a poverty complex, a class complex, a psychological complex. We have too much baggage. We have too much baggage. And our enemies are ganging up on us and making us sacrifice ourselves for them. They're making us give our blood to them for drink. It's in the Bible too. They're making us sacrifice our children for them for drink. And we're not paying any attention to it. The lives that we're living is wrong. I'm preaching now a little bit, but there's no other way to say it. There's just no other way to say it. We want freedom. Well, we have it. Question is, what do we do with it now? What do we do with that freedom right now? Our youths have so much freedom. You could travel to Libya to try and liberate your family out there. I want to see some gang members go out to Libya and liberate some of their brothers in slavery right now. That for me, that would be like, yeah, this is something. Put that energy to going to do something like that. Yeah, some of our brothers have gone out there to do something like that. The rest of you need to put your energy to that. There's so much more for you by doing that than by taking your own lives. I mean, come on. I investigated the psychology, why people want to die or why they want to kill each other. And the psychology is, Brother Kazan, are you still there with me?
I am. Yes,
do you know what the psychology is? Why people want to die, either when they want to commit suicide or when they want to commit murder? Do you know why they do it?
Well, I know one thing I know, that they will, if they get scared, they will strike out first. They will kill if they get scared. Yeah. And their suicide rate normally be where our people will figure something out. We'll figure out that next meal. We'll figure something out. You know, a lot of them, they can't really take that, even because they know for a fact bad things happen to poor people. Poor people also find themselves isolated into certain areas that even more crime and more hardship can be put upon them. But that would be my just two quick answers. One, they kill when they get scared. And two, they definitely will take their own self out if they remotely think that they might go through some type of poverty, some type of hardship for themselves or their family that they just can't bear to live through or see.
Are you saying from a scientific point of view that you suspect some suicide being perpetrated on a wholesale scale by our own young children because they're too afraid to live?
Well, check it out. I got an easy way of saying it. In one aspect, they feel like they're too mean to live. In the other aspect, they also feel like they're not about to die. Some of them feel like they cannot be faded. You know, or to even talk on such a subject is it makes them weak. And again, you know, we really do, and this is some good conversation, Brother Ty. We do have to find somewhere in there, where does the conversation start at and start trickling down to them? You know, is it an age bracket? Does it depend on where each one of us live? Again, I'm from New Jersey, from a bigger city, but I also live in the South, and you know, and went to school in a smaller city. You know, is there some differences in geographic areas? I really don't know. You know, the kids, I mean, the children got a lot. Oh, and I know what I wanted to touch on. The parents. I mean, like right now, my little bitty bird brain, and I'm nobody, I'm already thinking in my head, man, you know what? Okay, now it's getting ready to be summertime over here. The kids are going to be let out of school. You better believe all the police force, sheriff department, municipals, they've already gotten together. They've already gotten together on their side of it. You know, and then the parents, they got to go to work. I mean, because you don't, I mean, and you want to try to maintain some type of a financial grip on things, because you don't want your baby being teased about the tennis shoes or whether y'all call them sneakers, or you don't want them to wear a regular white t-shirt. You want them to wear something with somebody's name on it, i.e. Nike or Reebok. So you want to see them have the best that they have, so they don't get picked and teased that we could just be so ugly towards one another. And I cannot, and I repeat, I cannot for the life of me understand, with all these things playing out concerning our people, I just don't see how in the world we can turn around and be at self-war unless it's what I said last week. We are 100% addicted to chaos. And like what you said, Brother Ty, we are evil.
Oh, okay.
I'll stop there. Wow. I'm getting turned up by the moment, Brother Ty. So
I can hear that. I'm giving one of your new lines, 789 right there, family. As Brother Kazan, we got to write this book. It's called Addicted to Chaos, family. And that's Brother Kazan's words right there. It's a 789, Addicted to Chaos. That summarizes exactly what's going on with our families right now, family. Addicted to chaos. We're living in 2018 AC. Brother Kazan, guess what that is? 2018 AC. Guess what the AC is?
AC. Ooh, let me see. AC.
Addicted to chaos.
Okay.
Family, we're living in 2018 AC. That is 2000 AC. It's 2018 addicted to chaos. Instead of AD, we have AC right now. And
I'll be right back, Brother Ty. I need to answer the door real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm listening.
All right. So that's Brother Kazan's epithet there. 2018 AC, which is addicted to chaos. So some of you know that, right? Addicted to chaos. That's what it is, family. That's a serious indictment and analysis of what we're looking at, what we're going through right now. Because if we were not addicted to chaos, why keep repeating it? Why keep promoting it, family? Why do we have no repulsion? Why do we have no repulsion? Why do we have no repulsion? Look at the state of our nation inside another person's nation. By and large, we disproportionately murdering one another. We're murdering one another inside somebody else's nation. I mean, when do we wake up, family? When do we wake up and be ashamed of how we're living? When are we going to wake up? Where's all the church pastors? Call them out right now. If you got their number, you got their tweet or whatever it is, call them out right now. Shame on you, pastors. Come on, shame on you. This has to go out to them. Shame on you, pastors. Your prayers are in vain, are they? Are the prayers in vain? Are their efforts in vain? Some of these children are from well brought up so-called Christian homes, Christian backgrounds. Where's this community? Why is this communities not being able to prevent? Where's the preventative work? Where's the preventative work? It sounds like, you know, we're just raising beef on these churches. But I would love to be proven wrong. I would love to be proven wrong, family. I would love to be proven wrong. We are a nation. Sorry, we are a nation.
I apologize, Brother Todd. I thought you were pausing right there. You go ahead. You go ahead.
Yeah, okay. We are a nation, family, not a gang. Can we 789 that one? We are a nation, not a gang. So why are we going through these troubles? Because the troubles we're going through right now, we couldn't be going through it if we were not considered as a gang. We're taking each other out all over the earth. India is the same thing. Malaysia is the same thing. Right now in Italy is the same thing. I'm gonna try pull something up. I'm gonna try pull something up. Give me a second. I'm gonna try pull something up right there. I don't know how to add a new. Yeah, okay. Just give me a second, family. It's crazy. Okay, let me just. How do I do this now?
While you're doing that, Brother Tom, again, I won't beg of the family.
Right.
I want to backstep a little bit of what I said earlier.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I beg the family, take that little bit what I said earlier, as far as going on Facebook, going on, and they're oh yeah, that's the thing they like yelling. World Star, that's it. I couldn't think of it a while ago. Everybody wants to get this thing up on World Star. Yeah, they're gonna fight this afternoon. Let's get it up on World Star. I want to beg of the listening audience to take exactly what I said back to the babies. Tell the babies, not only are our people or their kids, their age bracket, watching those fight videos. You have your prosecutors, your judges, the captain of the police department, the sheriff, everybody's sending emails, sending links, and I take my word for it. I know I chef for a living, but I belong to other functions around here just as well. Take my word for it. They see them. They do. They see those videos, and they already be ready to pass judgment on the babies, including the innocent ones, the ones that's not even participating in gang activity. No, I'm not naive. I'm not sitting here saying that you're going to go through life and never get into a little shoulder bump with somebody, or you might have to ball your fists up. You know, as we teach our sons how to hold their legs, you know, how you hold your feet and set your arms up in order to protect. Protection is one thing, but when it's being instigated and you got moms and some of the dads looking at these videos with their babies and they're laughing, oh, look at how she got slapped. Oh, did you see that boy kick her in the back? Oh, they really double teamed this one. They really jumped that one, and they're laughing and they're all hyped up and they think it's about, you know, what that tells me is when I see people that's addicted to stuff like that, it tells me that they're really running from something that on the inside of them is what that tells me. And at that, for that little 3-minute video, 5-minute video, or 1-minute video, for that 1, 3, 5 minutes, it gives them enough time to hack on somebody else and forget about what they're dealing with on the inside. And I think that's sad and whatnot, but I strongly believe if enough of us charm down on that, and I mean tighten up on it real good, we can bring that from at least 90% down to at least 30% in 2 or 3 months. Take my word for it. The boys, the brothers done went to wearing their pants down off of one movie. Monday, they wasn't doing it. Tuesday, they were wearing their pants down. So if they can do it that fast on that angle, and we really want to, if we really love our babies, if we really love ourselves, then yeah, we could almost turn that around in just a matter of months. But everybody's going to have to be involved, not just the brothers. You got sisters. Some of the sisters over here that made some R&B songs. They didn't want no square dude. They didn't want nobody going to college. They want them a thug. They want them one that's tattooed up and rough neck. And like I tell my own daughters, be careful. One, be careful what you answer to, because if you answer to something that you're not, if someone treats you like that, you can't say nothing. I just wanted to just throw that out there and whatnot. That is one small thing that we could definitely get on right when we see our little cousins, our friends of our children, some of our classmates, co-workers, people we know. If you really start chiming down on them, letting them know that they're not the only ones sitting there watching those videos and how their case is already decided before they get to court, I guarantee you they'll stop. And I'll yield right there, Brother Ty.
Right. Okay. Great analysis again from Brother Kazan. Family, I've decided to be doing something right now. I'm hoping I'm not going to be spoiling your fun. What I'm trying to do right now is make sure this video don't go on too long in one session, because people are having a hard time just trying to watch it through. Especially for those in places where the whole video needs to load up before they can actually watch just 10 minutes of it. So with that said, I'm just gonna round down this video right now. Maybe I'm gonna do it on a question, and then when we come back on a new session in a few minutes, we can answer those questions. All right, so the first question we wanted to ask anyway: should we still continue using, as we see some of our brothers right now, using the same word gang? Does that word, does it engender any righteousness for us? Does it really bring a new generation into light, or does it keep them in the same darkness, practicing the same thing, believing in the same thing? Or can that move us forward? Are we a gang or are we a nation? That's one. Second, how do we reach these people? How do we reach these young people right now? Because obviously it looks like the problem is already halfway. How do we reach them right now? Yeah, that's it. That's another one. Third, social media or entertainment and the media, is this fueling the gang culture? Are we also, as a black community, are we perpetuating a negative spiritual image into our own mindsets by the music we listen to, by the movies we watch, by the games we play, by the language we speak to each other? Are we proud being purveyors of our own death, if you like? Purveyors of our own disaster, if you like? Are we just planning ahead how to make sure that some of our mothers and fathers don't actually see any benefit from having had us as children? These are some of the questions we want to come back and answer in a few minutes. I have to cut this video off right now because it's 2 hours. I want to give people who don't have a chance to watch a 5, 4, 6 hour long video session. I want to give them a chance to at least start having like a 2 hour session to deal with, because it's so much more easier. So if you would give me a chance right now, family, I'm going to cut this video off, give you a few minutes to make yourself a cup of tea, and come back and join us in about 2 or 3 minutes. Brother Kazan, what do you say to that?
I'll ride with you all the way out, Brother Ty.
Okay, so I'm going to cut this session off. You can stay with, you can stay there with me online if you want. I'm going to cut this live session off, family. Okay. Cutting off right now, family. Be back in a minute. I wish we had a real TV station where we where we do those kind of adverts they do, don't we?
Right, right. Stay tuned. We'll be right back after these messages.
Yeah, we're going for some paid sponsorship right now.
Right.
Okay, family. In a minute. Oh boy.